Hello, everyone, one and all, boys and girls, friends and family. Welcome to another episode of Pongo's Ponderings. It's good to see you all again. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, do anything you can to support me, and I'll show the love back. So, just a little bit of an update on things that have been going on. I have kind of probably end up, well, I've been thinking about going back to my previous employer. So I'm trying to get things working out there. If that doesn't work out, then I do have a plan B, and I'll be getting somewhere and get the ball rolling. So that's good. With fishing, it's been a great time. I went with my significant other, and she actually is just, I guess she's just better than I am at fishing. She caught 2 channel catfish that were pretty decent size, and yeah, it was a great time. She caught it with some bread and a simple bobber setup, and yeah, it was awesome. But today, I intentionally wanted to make this episode about something very specific, which I mentioned last week. Which has to do with my old workout routine and my diet, and how that actually ended up. Some of that ended up getting me kidney stones, and my plans for the future, the near future, and to not repeat that process. So, I'll just kind of start it out. I was about 259. I would just say 260. 260 at 5'8", and it was pretty rough. I was like looking at pictures of myself, and I was like, oh boy, I'm getting a bit big there, and and it's not anything bad like against it. I just knew it was unhealthy. And getting older, because I'm in my 30s now. You got to start thinking about things differently, because in your 20s it certainly seemed to be all about just kind of just do whatever you want to do, and not care at all about anything. But it can be a rough time in your later years because of that. You'll pay for it, right? So I've been, I was, slowly after I turned 30, I was contemplating I should do something. But last year, in July, I started a whole new thing. I started to eat better. I pretty much gave up soda altogether. I had been drinking basically just coffee in the morning. I wouldn't have any oatmeal. I would stick to eggs, really. I had a lot of hard-boiled eggs, scrambled eggs. I would eat a lot of apples, cottage cheese, and this was all just like starting off. And I would eat when I was hungry. Like if I was hungry, I would eat. I wouldn't starve myself. But what I would eat would be, low-calorie things, but things that were good, like Granny Smith apples. I have a million of those in one day. As long as I can just get myself full and I'm eating that apple, that's good for me. But then you crave other things. So, which is something that I'll talk about a little later, which is about the well-rounded diet. That's where it's important. Now, before I go on, I just want to say that I am in no way a specialist or a doctor or any of that stuff, right? I'm just a regular person that has no real extensive knowledge of any of this stuff at all. So I do recommend, if you were to do any of that in the future, working out, eating better, stuff like that, of course you want to, contact your doctor or get a doctor if you don't, and really just kind of go through it with them and see what would be the best course of action. Because you don't really want to make the mistake of, of what I'm actually about to tell you. But first, I'll just say that the best thing that really worked for me, other than having eating when I'm hungry, but eating the certain foods that I do enjoy that are pretty good for you. Like I said, it was a lot of hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese. I was eating, like I said, the Granny Smith apples, things like that. So it's important that, well, at least it was for me, and it might actually be good for you if you're starting off, is to document everything. Like this is actually the same notebook that I had all that time. Still got it. I actually have it all documented of the things that I did. So actually, week one, I decided that I'll do the treadmill for like 10 minutes. It looks like I went. No, it looks like I did a mile. So I think from there, that's right. Like from there, I would just continue to do it. Like from the mile, and then probably just do the mile again the next week. But anyway, I did the treadmill, supination curls, which are the with the dumbbells, calf extension, which is on a machine, seated row, which is a machine. I did the rowing, which is also on that rowing machine, which is nice. The chest press I did with the dumbbells. The ab crunch was also a machine as well. Leg press, alternating shoulder press as well, which is I did with the dumbbells. And then I just kind of use like a free bar is what I call it. It's just just a bar with weights on it. Just basically a larger dumbbell with two hands. So I would do that as kind of a full body, and it would take about an hour and a half. So it's nice to document your stuff because, you can start with, a certain weight and you write that down, however many reps, however many sets you're going to do, you write that down and you keep track of that. And I did this about 3 times a week. What I would do is I would do it on my days off. Like I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I worked out Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. But instead of like alternating, like, how some people will be like, well, you want to work out one night and then skip the next day, do some like aerobics, and then after aerobics that day, on like the second day or whatever, you'll go back to lifting. It's just to kind of give your muscles a break, let them rest and recuperate, because that's where you're gonna build the muscle. But it's important to build the muscle and keep it toned. But it's not just for aesthetics. Like if you're looking to lose weight, ideally it's not a bad idea to lift. It's not. I mean, a lot of people say, just do cardio. Honestly, I think you should do both. I think you should do cardio and you should lift. And I say that because the lifting is going to increase what's called your resting metabolic rate. So that way, when you are just existing, your body has more calories to burn because you have more muscle mass. So you increase it just enough to where it actually helps with your resting metabolic rate, in a sense of you can only eat this many thousand calories a day, that sort of thing. That will change based on that. And because it's all about your metabolism and the things that will happen with that. And like, this is, again, I'm not an expert or anything like that. These are just the things that I have learned as I went through my journey. Because, and people say that it's a journey and all that, and it sounds lame, it sounds cheesy, it just sounds so cliche, but it really is. It's an actual journey. Like, because right now I'm not doing any of this. I'm not doing any of this stuff. I'm not doing any of it. I'm not eating well. I'm not exercising. I'm not working out. But I plan on it. And I just wanted to share this story with you guys so you guys don't make a similar mistake that I did. But not only that, but maybe to encourage you to go back out and do it, because that's what I'm going to go back out. I'm going to go back out and do it myself. It's cliche, right? But it is a journey, and like, it just takes time. It takes a lot of, I get back on, you get back off. But if you get off, you just get back on, that sort of thing. So I had that all documented. But the thing is that it would, as I was documenting it and going back, I would even weigh myself, and then document that too. So like, by the second week, I had already lost a couple pounds, and I'd been on that same diet. My protein would mainly come from like my animal proteins, like steak or egg, and then also, of course, the cottage cheese. But after a while, I actually kind of got rid of that altogether, and I was looking for something that had more of a combination of the animal protein that I wanted, but also the fiber. Like I was looking to increase my fiber intake, all while still, sticking to water, and just sticking with that diet, right? Still eating apples and all that stuff. But by week 5, I kind of just made it a little bit more clean. Like I had the chest press. I started with the chest press, bi curl, which is all free weights like barbells, ab crunch, calf extension, leg press, pec fly, all machines, alternating shoulder press, seated row, and then I started with the free bar. Eventually, I ended up doing the actual bench, like bench presses, and I started off pretty low. I think I was benching like 90 something pounds, right? And I only made it past a little over 100. And I don't know if it was just technique, because I've seen, like, depending on like your weight and whatnot, you should be benching a certain weight based on that. Again, I don't know how true that is. It's stuff that I've read. It's stuff that I've heard. But I started out very small. Just wanted to see what I could do, and it was great. It was really, really great. But yeah, so I just kept documenting it, and things were going really well. Things started changing. I really started to change it up, because after a while, of working all the same things, your body gets used to it, and you'll be not really changing the routine. You're sticking to the same routine. You're sticking to the same reps, the same sets, the same weight, like the same machines even, right? But the weight will increase over time. And all of that increases over time. And if you take, like, I even took maybe like a week off once, and I came back, and honestly, I kind of needed it. It felt like my body needed that. Again, I was only doing this 3 times a week. And when I took a week off once, it really felt great. Like I just got back into it, and I felt like I could actually do more. But I decided not to overdo it, just to keep it the same way. So eventually, I had this really nice routine. I'm about 4 or 5 months into all of this. I started at 260. At this point now, I'm down to, I was at like 225, 230. I was fluctuating a lot. And I was on this really strict diet of, and it's going to sound really bad, but it was just steak, black beans, and eggs. And I ate that all the time. And it was my main diet. It was mainly what I ate every day for a while, and I noticed I started to get pretty sick from that, and it's kind of stupid now thinking about it then, but honestly it felt good. It felt like I was eating light, but I was eating just enough, and when going to the gym I had that energy to really do everything I needed to do, and I was losing weight and I was feeling good, but my other issues were going on with me that were very unpleasant. And one of those was this: I started to get this pain in like my back and my side. So I just said, I was like, whatever, and like a couple weeks go by and I still have that pain, and now it's like even worse, and it's pinching and I'm getting the chills. But I'm not like running a fever or anything. I'm still going to the gym. I'm still eating the same stuff I'm eating and drinking all this water and whatnot. But so and I'm going to work and all that. And one day this is maybe about 6 months into my whole routine that I started from July. I started, that pain got so bad that like I was at work and I couldn't take it anymore. I just decided, what, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to the hospital. And my manager recommended it. She's like, yeah, you should probably go, because she could see how much pain I was in. But I literally limped my way out of that store and drove myself straight to the hospital. And they did some tests, and they come to find out that I have a kidney stone. And kind of shorten the story a little bit because, a week goes by, I'm out of work, I'm trying to pass this. There's not much that happened there. So I'll just like kind of fast forward to when I went to actually finally go see a doctor before I went back to work. Because I had to get like the approval, like, okay, it's good, he's good to go, he should be fine, whatnot. And it was easy to get. I was back to work in no time. But my doctor was saying, and he was a young guy, which it's kind of sucks because sometimes like, and that saying kind of does ring true sometimes. It's the sense of like, beware of the young doctor, the old barber, that sort of thing. You don't want the guy with the shaking hands to accidentally cut you, and you don't want the young doctor with inexperience he's not going to have any idea what the hell's going on, right? He's going to resort to things that he learned in school, which, and compared to real life experience, is really what it's all about when it comes to most things. So yeah, that saying does kind of ring true, and it definitely did in my situation. I didn't really get much information from him other than the fact that what I was eating actually caused my kidney stones. Ultimately, it was the oxalate. The oxalate was super high in my system to where it formed kidney stones. And the oxalate kidney stones are pretty common. But I was really overdoing it. That's how hardcore my diet really was. So it's really, really important to, like I said, check with your doctor, check with your healthcare provider, and really find out, what's the best course of action for you, and not only your diet, but also your physical exercise as well. So I do actually plan on or intend to trying to go see a different doctor, before I get real serious about it. But I mean, like real serious about it. I'm going to change things. I'm going to start drinking more water, and just try to cut out all the bad stuff again. And but I'm going to try and have more variety. Like my diet started out with more variety, so I think I'm going to go back to that. I just got a little bored with it, so maybe try something else, maybe add in a little bit here and there. I'm not going to give up the steak, eggs, and black beans altogether, but I'm not going to have them every day, right? I'm not going to have them every day. So my plan is to get back to that, go see a doctor eventually before I get really, really into it, see if there's any changes or anything I can do to improve my overall quality of life. But I do recommend that for any of you. Just go out and take a walk, really. Just take a walk, drink some more water, and just start with that. If you're a really big person, the bed stuff is great. You can start with just being in bed and just bringing yourself up, bring yourself back down, that sort of thing. All of those are really great. If you're just moving like that, man, like it's crazy. Like the bigger that you are too, the more calories you'll already be burning. So just a slight change in your diet, like more water and less fattening foods, but more foods that are lower in calories, will actually help you lose weight pretty quickly, especially being a bigger individual. So, honestly, for the bigger people, just don't lose hope immediately, because it's actually easier for you guys to lose it than it is for anyone else that's already a little bit, lighter. It's just the hardest part of it all, which most people agree is the diet. It's always about the diet. It's always hard to get rid of things that are really good. But at the end of the day, once you do it and once you experience it, once you start changing things a little bit in your diet, once you start drinking more water, once you start working out, you stop really thinking about food as being your escape, right? You start doing other things, and food is really just kind of in the back of your mind. Like, I know what I'm going to eat today. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. It's not going to be, now I'm going to get this and I'm going to eat a bunch of this, but it's not like that. It's more like, okay, I already have a set plan. This is what I'm eating today. And it's not really, you're not thinking about it all the time. what you're thinking about is you can't wait to go back to the gym, or you can't wait to do all that stuff, because honestly the feeling you get from that outweighs the feeling of cupcakes, right, or pizza or soda or any of that stuff. But it's hard to really see that or really understand that until you get there, until you experience it yourself. And once you do, and if you falter and go back, it's actually rather therapeutic, because you can think about, wow, how great I felt then, how good the food actually was, and how much better it'll be for me if I go back. So yeah, I couldn't recommend it anymore, and that's my plan. I plan on going back out. Now, see, I got down to 217 was the lowest I got down to. So my plan was ultimately, because I'm 5'8", my plan was to get down to like 165, 170. And that takes a long time. It took a long time for me to lose just 40 pounds, right? Those 6 months, it took me to lose those 40 pounds, right? And it took a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of I'm eating this, I'm not eating that. I'm going today regardless of what I think or say, that sort of thing, right? It's this commitment, it's this dedication that you have to really dig deep within yourself to find, and then to realize it. It's definitely worth it, and I know that firsthand. So that's exactly why I just wanted to share with everyone. But not only that, but I will be doing that myself very soon. So you don't need a gym membership. You just need to. You can just go walk, right? But of course, I like the gym. It's just down the street from me. I'm gonna sign up and get my membership back. And things will be much better. Now, the important thing to also remember is that when you're getting into this and you're getting involved with all this, is that you're going to go work out, and you're going to come home. You're going to feel good. You're going to look good, right? But you personally, you yourself will look at yourself and think, nothing's changed, right? And then another day will go by, same thing. A week will go by, same thing. A month will go by. It's the same thing. You're just going to be like, I don't think any progress. I don't think I'm making any progress. But the scale's saying something different. Like you're losing weight, you're feeling good. You make your, like, you know that you look good because you have that confidence back, right, from the working out and all that. But you also can you for some reason, you're just stuck with, man, I don't look different. Like it looks the same. Well, that's because it all works in a very slow, gradual process. And there's one thing that I can have any of you guys take away from any of this today. There's one thing, it's consistency. Right? If I just stuck with it, with the diet and everything, like after the kidney stone, I just kind of, forget it, And I mean, I went back when I was feeling a little better, but it didn't really stick. I started eating some garbage, and then that started to stick. And again, I would try and go out, but it just wouldn't stick. And now I just haven't done it for a couple months now. And, so yeah, if there's one thing to take away from the day, it's consistency. It's consistency with the workouts. It's consistency with your diet. If you just stay with it, you will notice the change. And you won't notice right away. You won't notice week 1. You won't notice week 2. Hell, you might not even notice after 6 months. Right? But it's the feeling that you have and what the scale says and what the doctor says to you. It's all of those things. It's a lot of it is in your mind, right? You have changed. And not only that, other people might be able to see it. It's rare. It doesn't really happen. Most people aren't paying that much attention to you. But when your face changes, then people will notice, because you'll start to lose weight in your face and people will notice that. And that would be a huge booster. But ultimately, it's like you lose the weight and the scale says it. That's a huge boost to go back, right? You might notice changes in your strength too if you're doing a lot of lifting as well. You'll definitely notice that things are changing. But if you look in the mirror, you personally might not think things are different because they might not seem different at all. But I'm telling you that just after that one day, things are already starting to go. They're already in motion and it's already going. You just have to keep it going, right? You just have to keep it going. And this is all advice that is my own, of course. So, of course, I will be following it. And it is a difficult thing. Like I said earlier, it is a journey. It legitimately is a journey. So you fall down, you get back up, and you try again. Okay? Thanks for watching. Take care.